In this video, we're going to look at how to calculate moles if we're given a certain amount of an element, so grams or its mass. So again, we're going to be using the conversion factors or dimensional analysis to help us along this way to kind of check our units as we go to make sure that we're ending up with what we want to. But for these, we're going to want to find out, for instance, if I have 8 grams of oxygen, how many moles are in that mass or that amount of oxygen. So how many moles are in 4.7 grams of potassium? If we look at the element symbol here, potassium off the periodic table, its atomic mass is 39.10, and we know that 1 mole of any element is going to equal to that atomic mass. So the molar mass is 39.10 grams per mole. We're going to use that for our conversion factor. So we're starting with grams. We're ending with moles is what we want to end up with, and the conversion factor is going to be the fact that we know 1 mole of potassium is going to be equal to 39.10 grams. So let's take 4.7 grams of potassium. We have to put grams of potassium down below in order to cancel out, right? And we know that there are 39.10 grams of potassium in 1 mole of potassium. Grams cancel out. You multiply divide 4.7 by 39.10, and we end up with 0.12, and this is the only units left, so moles of potassium. So again, just using the conversion factor to go from grams to moles. How accurate should the number be? Well, you would look at the number with the smallest amount of significant figures, and those are the significant figures that you would need to include in your answer. So in this case, it would be the 0.12. So let's try another problem, but this time I want you to try it on your own. So pause the video as you work through it, and then you can restart it and we'll go through it together. So again, we're starting with 6.5 grams of potassium. Okay, because that's what we're starting with is grams here. We want to go to moles. We know our conversion factor is 1 mole is going to have 39.10 grams in it. So we're going to put grams down here. Grams of potassium. We know that in 1 mole of potassium there is 39.10 grams. Cross off the units left in moles, which is what we want. So if we took 6.5 divided by 39.10, we end up with 0.16 moles of potassium in 6.5 grams of potassium. So keep track of what you're starting, what you're going to want to end up with, and remember the conversion factor for these is going to involve the atomic mass of the given element. Questions about this, holler. Otherwise, we can move on to the next one where we're going to go from looking at figuring out how many grams are in a certain number of moles.